Hey everyone, welcome to another review of the week in D1A Rugby, and it was playoff time, so let's get into it. 8 playoff games to talk about. Army versus Mount St. Mary's. Cold, difficult conditions. 3-3 until pretty late in the first half, and Army keeps the pressure on though, and they're good at that. And line out, maul, try. Guess what? They do it again just as the half is ending. And that was kind of crucial to be able to get a decent, a 13-3 lead going into the break. Mount St. Mary's comes back and they punish a penalty to create a maul. And this one splinters a bit, but Ray McGettigan knows how to use that and how to deal with that. And he pops off the back and he's in for a crucial try. It's still a close game. And then late, Army is back bashing at the line. They send it wide this time to Howard Heller, and he goes in for a try. So it was what we expected. A tough game for both teams. Being at home, I think, helped Army for sure. But Mount St. Mary's has been on the rise, and they showed it in this one. Army advances 25-15. Well, Life versus Davenport certainly wasn't that close, and the lesson we've got there is don't kick to life. Brilliant work from Bradley Crane to get involved in this and set this up. Batista Araujo comes in a great support line in the scrum half, scores a try. And then another kick, this time straight to freshman wing James Rose. And Rose played for his father at Green Bay and led that team to a state championship. And you can see he was an age grade USA player. Impressive run, impressive athlete, really big. He's big for a wing, but he can move. Fantastic individual try all the way across the field. More good work from Life. Crane to Ballinger, back to Crane, and then out to Josh Spence. So a dominating win for Life, and they move on. Home field advantage for them. This video is brought to you by Next Phase Rugby, which is an app that allows high school rugby players to connect with college rugby programs around the country. Those programs can be school supported, club, all kinds of different ones. 450 are already on the app, and thousands of collegiate hopefuls are also on the app. Download the app if you're a college, or if you are a high school player looking for a college, go to nextphaserugby.com. There's a discount code for the premium level for high school players at the bottom of the screen. And good luck with your college search. It's also brought to you by USA Rugby Foundation, which is an organization that supports grassroots rugby around the country, and your donation can help build this great game of ours. Also brought to you by Irish Rugby Tours. Touring is a great way to expose your players to the global nature of rugby. Go to Irish Rugby Tours. They don't just do Ireland. They do all kinds of different countries: Spain, Portugal, New Zealand, South Africa, the UK. That's just a smattering of what they can do for you. Go to irishrugbytours.com. And this video is also brought to you by Panther Rugby Academy, providing elite playing and training opportunities for players throughout the South and a more extended version of the South. Panther Rugby Academy, check them out. And I also want to thank a new kit provider, which is 8x8 Sports. You can't see their logo on this shirt, although you can see it on others, but there's the back of the same shirt because I have more than one. And several other great kit. And we'll be having merchandise available very soon as well. So I'm excited about that. Thanks to 8x8 Sports. It's 8x8sports.com. Navy and Penn State played earlier this spring, and it was a close game. But I think Navy used that to sort of just get a handle on what Penn State can bring and how to respond to that. They had a pretty good idea that they were going to play Penn State in the opening round. So, smart coaches do that. Penn State knew they had to start strong, and they certainly did that. They get that maul, and Adam Bilbo pops off the back of that maul and scores an early blood drawn for Penn State. But the biggest thing for Navy was their ability to keep the ball and keep possession. And so they stay in their shape very well. And if you stay in your shape and you keep possession, you're not dropping balls. Well, it's very difficult to defend against. And if they can't go through or around, they go over. Ronan Krieger launches this kick for Ian Bullock and AJ Young, and Bullock gets it, and he's going to go in to score. But AJ Young, his challenge for that ball is what made it happen. You'll see, well, that's why Bullock congratulates Young afterward instead of the other way around. Penn State on the attack here, but Navy gets the turnover, and we can see that they can play the fast break as well. Brilliant work from William Webb to get that started, and then Look how they use the ball so well. Krieger involved twice in that, including finishing it off. Brilliant try. And then some snappy long passing, and they get it out to AJ Young, and Young finishes it off. It was ultimately a 45-7 win for Navy. They had to work for it in the first half, I think, and then they unleashed some things. Look pretty good, but they will they'll be at home again this coming weekend. And then if Life wins, they're going to have to go on the road. Lindenwood versus Arkansas State, and perhaps closer than some would have thought, but it's horrible weather, and in fact we're grateful that we have any video at all, because the live stream got cut by the weather, but they did record it, which was nice. Lindenwood's tenacity on defense is on display here. The thing about Lindenwood players, and really their coaching staff as well, is that you almost never hear them complain about the conditions. You know, if there's a typhoon, fine, we'll play. Is there a heat wave? Fine, we'll play. Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers? Yes, they're still going to come and play. So anyway, they go, and there's when you get a turnover in those kinds of conditions and the ball's rolling on the ground and not a lot of people around, what do? Well, you kick it, right? You toe it ahead. Yes, toe it ahead. David Cathart sending it, and Jared Jaeger. They chase. Okay. So there's going to be a penalty try on this. And in fact, there are two penalty try infractions at the same time here. So Cathcart goes in. He's going to touch it down. He thinks he's going to touch it down. He gets tackled before he touches the ball. So that's a penalty try. What you do with a penalty try in that situation is you take the infracting player out of it. It's like he doesn't exist. Would the try have been scored? Yeah, he was going to grab it and touch it down, reasonably assuming he was going to touch it down. The other thing was the player coming in and forcefully pushing the ball with his hands past the dead ball line. That's also a penalty try. So two penalty try infractions by Arkansas State. Only one penalty try, though. Edwin Van Heerden gets very involved, especially in this sequence. He starts it off with the 8-man pick, and he gets in with another big carry, another hard carry, and he's working, as all the forwards are really working very hard to get this one over. I think it's an important one for Lindenwood, where I think it's 17-7 at this point. And finally, Van Heerden carries it over. 24-7 in the end for Lindenwood. Like I said, maybe a little bit closer than they wanted, but conditions were tough, and Arkansas State is tough. So Lindenwood's going to be at Navy. Boy, that's going to be a really exciting one. And Army at Life, and I think that's going to be an interesting one too. Army doesn't really have much to lose other than what they better do is starve Life of the ball. In the West, Cal versus Colorado State, and Cal scores early on a lovely tips ball here. Very nice, but CSU responds with the interception from Eli Eagle. So we've got a 7-7 ball game. Cal scores again, and then there's this one, Byron Finley, who's a lock, by the way. Boy, can he run, and he gets them going from deep in their own half, and then it goes out to Keelan O'Connell on the edge. Fantastic. Just looks very good, taking it right down there, bumping off a couple of guys, and finishing in the corner. Now, I don't know about this next try. As you see with the kick to the corner, I think that's O'Connell getting that, and the try is given. The AR puts his thumbs up like this. Now, I think this might be a miscommunication, because I think the AR is saying he didn't step into touch, I'm fine. ARs don't necessarily make judgments on the grounding. Have a look at this again. I don't think he grounded it. And Eagle, who made the tackle, fantastic tackle and the defensive play from Eagle. I think he deserves a little bit of reward for that. At least don't allow the try. Yeah, I don't think that was a try. But tough day for CSU. They worked very hard to get ready, and they were very proud to be there. But they were beaten handily 76-7 in the end by Cal. So it's not like it made a big difference. Still, anyway, Cal piecing things together pretty impressively. It was a bit of a battle, as we expected, UCLA at St. Mary's. And the thing was, it was kind of a weird thing. Everybody's scoring on the same end of the field, just about. The Gales kind of controlled in the first half. And you got to love the change of pace here to get Brian McKeon over from close range. And then bashing it over with the forwards is not working this time for the Gales. And so they send it wide to Sia Alpha. This will be his second try. Still has work to do to get it over, but he does very well. Second try for Ofa. UCLA had scoring chances, but they didn't convert in the first half, and I think that really hurt them. Going into halftime down 17-0, in trouble. In the second half, then they expand that. Don Bisag just burst through everyone. It seems like he waits for his moment each time in each game, and that was a big try for St. Mary's. But back comes UCLA. Great kick, and the tip from I think that was Cox to Andrew McCarthy. And then Daniel Odajimni from long range. There's another great try. And then they've got the forwards working it. Freddie Jobber is actually the one who finishes this off. And so this makes it 24-17. There is time, but there's not very much time. And St. Mary's does enough to work the clock and finish that game and win it 24-17. But boy, it was in the end a close run thing, and UCLA kind of ruining that first half missed opportunity or two. Cal Poly versus Arizona. This was one that I thought was going to be close, and I thought that Cal Poly could well win it. Wrong on both counts, really. Ultimately, I think it was very, very competitive, but ultimately the first half surge from Arizona is what got them through. This sequence was early on, but I think it's pretty telling. You see, Cal Poly's on the front foot. They're attacking. Then they get a holding on penalty. And you look at the kick to touch for this. This thing went about 47 meters. It completely flips the field around. And then Arizona, their maul is working very well. Their scrum was great in this one as well. But those sort of can go hand in hand. They maul it out to the backs. Nick Morgan, their freshman wing, they put him up the middle. Goes in under the post. That is a huge emotional turnaround for any team, positively or negatively. And I do think it had an effect on the tenor of the first half. Certainly. Cal Poly does get going, and they do have Arizona backing up, and then a superb wide pass from Kobe Baker sets up the try. But look at Arizona's maul. That responds. They do well. Cal Poly scores again, but really, defensive pressure from Arizona try here is really the result of Arizona pressuring on defense, forcing mistakes, getting the turnover, scoring off the turnover. 47-19 ultimately for the Wildcats. A really great showing for Arizona after a couple of games where their offense didn't quite click when they really needed it to. BYU versus Central Washington. This game last year was BYU going and having lost to Central Washington came in and won the game. Here, Cougars are working it through the forwards. And the thing about doing that is, yes, it's tiring for the defense, but it can be tiring for the attack as well, especially if it takes a while. And if it takes a while and then the other team is capable of scoring quickly, you're like, oh, we're back at this again. So it can be like you start looking at the points per minute of possession, the strike rate of each team, and the team that is going slowly, they will eventually struggle. I think that's what happened here. Great interplay between Benji Ward and Oscar Treacy. We've seen that most of the season, and in at the corner for Central Washington. And this is the one I think that really hurt BYU. 8-9-14 move off a scrum center, and Arona Tauli'ili, he just goes on his own. It's an 8-8-8 move, and he just keeps running. And that, I think, is just an astonishing run. Makes it 24-12 at halftime, and I think Central Washington feeling like they can take control. They score 2 early tries. This one really good, out wide to Sam Dwyer. That makes it 31-12. Then it's 38-12. That's pretty much it. I mean, we roll to 53-24 for Central Washington to win that one. So, Central Washington at St. Mary's. Yes, this was a 20-point win for St. Mary's earlier in the year. It's a different Central Washington team. Now, I just get the feeling it's a lot closer. Is it a different St. Mary's team? They have been up and down, and even within games, like we just saw. And then Arizona at Cal. Arizona already lost to Cal. I think memory serves 47-0. It's a different Arizona team. So, yeah, Cal's favored. Yes, Cal is favored in that game. We'll talk about the Challenger Cup in a different video because we don't have enough time in this one. But thanks for watching. See you next time.